Let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts, all beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains that let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Please be seated. Chancellor, graduates, guests and members of the university community, good morning and welcome. I'm Bill Patterson, University Secretary and Director of Governance Support. Graduations are one of the university's most important events. This year, the university will hold approximately 50 ceremonies, both in Sydney and in Shanghai. We are also delighted that some of today's graduates are attending, having previously missed the opportunity to attend a ceremony during the pandemic. On occasion, the university seeks to honour individuals who have made extraordinary impacts upon society and through the contributions they have made to the university. Today, the university will bestow an honorary award upon an outstanding member of our community. I would now like to introduce to you the official party who are here on stage. Seated at the centre of the stage is Ms. Catherine Livingstone AO, Chancellor of the University, who will preside over this ceremony. The Chancellor is joined today by Professor Andrew Parfitt, Vice-Chancellor and President, Ms. Kim McKay AO, who will be awarded a Doctor of Science honoris causa and will also deliver the occasional address. Professor James Warman, Dean of the Faculty of Science, will be presenting graduates. The other people seated on stage are Dr. Patrick Tooth, member of the University's Council, professors, academics and professional staff from faculties and institutes who have played such a large part in the success of today's graduates. I would also like to acknowledge our members of staff graduating today, Alicia Cook, Lisa Pugh and Leila Garizzi. It now gives me great pleasure to invite Ms. Catherine Livingstone AO, our Chancellor, to formally open proceedings.
In the name of the Council, I declare this congregation of the University of Technology, Sydney, duly assembled. And on behalf of the University of Technology, Sydney, and before we begin the proceedings, and on behalf of everyone here today, I would like to acknowledge and pay our respects to the traditional owners of the land on which we meet, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. It's upon their ancestral lands that UTS stands. We also pay our respects to elders past and present, acknowledging them as the traditional custodians of knowledge for this place. In this graduation ceremony, we will celebrate the conferral of awards upon graduates from the Faculty of Science. Today's ceremony marks a great achievement for the graduates, but also recognises the support which they've received from family and friends, many of whom are with us here today, so we warmly welcome you. I will now ask the Vice-Chancellor to present a candidate for the Doctor of Science honoris causa.
Chancellor, the Council of the University has established the award of Doctor of Science honoris causa to be made to persons who, in its opinion, have made an outstanding contribution to professional practice in a discipline of interest to the University. Chancellor, I present to you Ms. Kim McKay, AO. Ms. Kim McKay, AO, is an Australian environmentalist, author and business leader. She is currently the Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Australian Museum, the first woman to hold the position in the museum's history, and have served in this role for the past 9 years. She has had an international career in media and social and sustainability marketing and communications, spanning over 30 years, both in Australia and in the United States. She is a strong supporter and exemplary role model of women in leadership and is a proud UTS alumna holding a Bachelor of Arts in Communication. Ms McKay co-founded Clean Up Australia in 1989, turning it into a leading non-profit community environmental organisation, raising awareness and taking positive action in support of the local environment. At its core was the message that everyone can make a difference, and this has been a driving theme behind Ms McKay's actions. She went on to co-found Clean Up the World in 1992 with the support of the United Nations Environment Programme, and was then Deputy Chair from 1993 to 2009. After her time with Clean Up, she went on to hold a senior executive position with the National Geographic Channel in the US and co-created the National Geographic Society's The Genographic Project, at the time the world's largest DNA population study. She co-authored 5 books encouraging environmental citizen science. Ms McKay has been a powerful advocate for UTS. She has served on the UTS Vice-Chancellor's Industry Advisory Board, and as a UTS alumna, she was awarded the UTS Chancellor's Award for Excellence in 2010. She has made a significant contribution across many areas of UTS, collaborating on joint research grants, providing strategic advice, and speaking at key events across the university. Ms McKay was appointed a member of the UTS Council in 2022. Ms McKay has served as an unpaid board member for a variety of organisations, including chair of the Editorial Advisory Committee for CSIRO's ECOS magazine and the Sydney Institute of Marine Science Foundation. She was a member of the Community Relations Committee for the Sydney 2000 Olympic bid and served on the board of the Centre for Australian and New Zealand Studies at Georgetown University, Washington, DC, and on the New South Wales Bar Association's Silk Selection Committee. She currently chairs the Create New South Wales Museums and History Art Forum Board and serves on UNSW's Science Advisory Panel. The Somerville Collection Board at the Australian Fossil and Mineral Museum in Bathurst, the Australian Museum Foundation, and the Lizard Island Reef Research Foundation, and she is an ambassador for the 1 Million Women campaign. Ms McKay is held in extraordinary esteem by leaders across Australia, and she received the Officer of the Order of Australia in 2008. She was named in G Magazine's Top 20 Australian Echo Hearers list, and she was included in the 2011 book, The Power of 100 Women Who Have Shaped Australia, to mark the 100th anniversary of International Women's Day. She was named in the 2013 Australian Financial Review's 100 Women of Influence list and received the Australian Geographic's Lifetime Conservation Award. Ms McKay has also won numerous Australian and international awards for her work in the environment and communication sectors, and was awarded an Honorary Doctorate of Science from the University of Wollongong last year. It is a great honour for the University of Technology Sydney to confer Ms Kim McKay, AO, with a Doctor of Science honoris causa in recognition of her considerable achievements in the community, non-profit, cultural, environmental, communications and business sectors. Her dedication and commitment to social and environmental causes is outstanding. Chancellor, in recognition of her distinguished contribution, I ask you to admit Ms Kim McKay, AO, to the degree of Doctor of Science honoris causa.
So by the authority vested in me by the Council of the University of Technology, Sydney, I admit Ms Kim McKay, AO, to the degree of Doctor of Science honoris causa. Well done, Kim. I now invite Professor James Wallman, Dean of the Faculty of Science, to present graduates.
Chancellor, I invite graduates in the Faculty of Science to stand. Chancellor, the UTS Council has resolved that candidates recommended to it by the Faculty Board in Science as eligible for awards have completed all requirements of a course of study approved by the Board and has conferred these awards upon them. Chancellor, I now present those graduates from the Faculty of Science who are here before you to acknowledge the awards for which they have qualified.
So on behalf of the Council of the University of Technology, Sydney, I congratulate graduates on their achievements in obtaining the awards for which you have now qualified, and it's terrific to see such a large group graduating. Well done.
Graduates, please be seated. Chancellor, research is a defining characteristic of a university. Graduating a fully equipped, independent researcher requires nurturing, training, and encouragement. Today, we celebrate the achievements of our Faculty of Science research graduates and express our gratitude to their family, friends, supervisors, and the community who recognise the importance of research education and the acquisition of knowledge. Chancellor, I present to you graduates receiving research degrees. The following students have graduated with the Doctor of Philosophy. Alicia Minetta Cook, for a thesis entitled Variation in the Photosynthetic Heat Tolerance of Plants from Extreme Environments, the Influence of Heat Exposure and Environmental Context, supported by a supervisory panel that included Principal Supervisor Associate Professor Andy Lee and Co-Supervisor Associate Professor Katerina Petru. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Alicia Minetta Cook. Margaret Ramarajan, for a thesis entitled Development of a Molecular Toolkit to Genetically Engineer the Microalga Nanochloropsis gadatana CCMP 526 for Biotechnology Applications, supported by a supervisory panel that included Principal Supervisor Distinguished Professor Peter Ralph and Co-Supervisor Associate Professor Michelle Fabris. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Margaret Ramarajan. Charlotte Lindsay Fleming, for a thesis entitled Investigating the Biological Effects of Nanoparticles in Alzheimer's Disease Pathologies, supported by a supervisory panel that included Principal Supervisor Dr. Christine McGrath and Co-Supervisor Associate Professor Cindy Gunawan. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Charlotte Lindsay Fleming. Vijit Saini, for a thesis entitled Islet-Enriched MicroRNAs as Biomarkers Regulators of Beta Cell Function, Survival and Differentiation, supported by a supervisory panel that included Principal Supervisor Professor Anne Simpson and Co-Supervisors Dr. Naja Nassif and Professor Ananwadan Hardikar. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Vijit Saini. Yu Zhang for a thesis entitled Hybrid Vigour and Hybrid Mimics in Rice, supported by a supervisory panel that included Principal Supervisor Emeritus Professor Jim Peacock and co-supervisors Emeritus Professor Elizabeth Dennis, Dr. Li Wang and Distinguished Professor Peter Ralph. Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Yu Zhang. Master of Science Research, Sarah Michelle Green, for a thesis entitled Characterisation of the lipidome of transfusible platelet components. And Lisa Pugh for a thesis entitled An in vitro study investigating the combined toxicity of the sonotoxins B and methylamino L-alanine and 2,4-diaminobutyric acid. Chancellor, each year UTS recognises a select few undergraduate candidates of exceptional merit. Such candidates are honoured by the award of the University Medal. Chancellor, I now present to you graduates receiving an undergraduate award and the University Medal in the Faculty of Science. The following students have graduated with the Bachelor of Environmental Biology, Bachelor of Science Honours in Environmental Science with First Class Honours and University Medal. Angela Morgan. And Bachelor of Science Honours in Environmental Science with First Class Honours and University Medal, Elizabeth Shan Morley. Chancellor, we will now present to you our coursework graduates receiving awards today.
The following students have graduated with the Master of Science Honours in Marine Science and Management with First Class Honours, Paranshil. Master of Medical Biotechnology, Tanya Anthony. Priya Pritika Chand. Jose Ermitano. Abiha Faruqi. Luke Farrell. Tanya Jamwal. Manju Bashini Jaya Balan. Shruti Kumari. Alexander Sayer. Avantika Tiwari. Bachelor of Biomedical Science, Master of Medical Biotechnology, Julie Pham. Master of Philosophy in Medical Biotechnology, Anne Nguyen. William Young. Master of Science in Biomedical Engineering, Michael James Palmer. Mabel Tan. Emily Pavitra Venga. Bachelor of Engineering, Honours in Biomedical Engineering with First Class Honours, Master of Science in Biomedical Engineering, Ziwei Wu. Master of Science in Medical Biotechnology, Sasan Azimi. Werhel Lagamaj Arayanta Kashindra Premaratna. Maisa Sharabas. Bachelor of Science, Honours in Biomedical Science with First Class Honours, Charlotte Elizabeth Abel King. Lily Claire Hatwell. Teng Yu Pai. Lauren Ryan. Sarah Megan Stapleton. Bachelor of Science, Honours in Environmental Science with First Class Honours, Alexandra Louise Wilson. Bachelor of Science, Honours in Biomedical Science with Second Class Honours, Division 1, Jonathan Alexander Christianos. Jonah Moon. Shan Rawanduzi. T. Min Hee Chan. Bachelor of Science, Honours in Environmental Science with Second Class Honours, Division 1, Camille Veronica Hall. Mia Alice Shaper. Bachelor of Biotechnology, Bachelor of Business with Distinction, Adam James Brown. Monica Galea. James Georgievsky. Samara McLean. Daniel J. Pashotam. Bachelor of Biotechnology, Bachelor of Business with Credit, Riley Easton. Zarina Mangal. Bachelor of Science in Biotechnology, Bachelor of Business with Distinction, Ziri de la Cruz. Bachelor of Science in Environmental Biology, Bachelor of Business with Distinction, Kane Edward Holbert. Bachelor of Science in Environmental Biology, Bachelor of Business with Credit, Jasimur Townhill. Bachelor of Business, Bachelor of Science in Biomedical Science, Henry George Albert Halliday. Bachelor of Business, Bachelor of Science in Biotechnology, Andrew Zhao. Bachelor of Science in Environmental Sciences, Bachelor of International Studies, Rebecca Georgia Cohen. Bachelor of Advanced Science in Pharmaceutical Sciences, Amy Elizabeth Oatner. Dima Batainer. Samara Elizabeth Bridge. Leonie Mi Tim Huang. Angela Yu He Lin. Teresa Wen-Chi Kwek. Bachelor of Biomedical Science, Zainab Ali. Elham Sadiq M. Al-Turafi. Stefan Ian Wen Anbarasan. Sarah Bell. Monique Soma Bu. Sarina Briskas. Hong Van Thi Bui. Lachlan John Chisholm. Sarah Grace Day. Caitlin Ann de Cruz. Omeo Louis Eisenmenger. John Venley Tampos Farmers. Mei Chi Miki Fan. Sarah Carmel Grieve. Samuel James Hanson. Hannah Hoff. Maha Hussein. Antonia Karabatic. Sarah Amber Khan. Yao Wai Jocelyn Kwok. Tayden Lam. Amy Liu. Jacqueline Ziwing Ma. Electra Isabel Morandon. Aisha Murtaza. Jing Xian Geraldine Ng. Chan Huang Mai Nguyen. David Ospina Vasquez. Brooke Ashley Parkinson. Isha Ravishbai Patil. Sarah Powter. Emily Claire Puckeridge. Ngok Fung Zung Kwak. Shuma Ramayaj. Aisha Noor Raza. Namita Sujay Shah. Namrata Sujay Shah. Kajal Christine Sharma. Sanita Rachel Soni. Salwa Suka. Jamal Malik Swala Maktaharu. Nguyen Huynh Mai Chuang. Angela C. Erin Olivia Watts. Chloe Wiltshire. Bachelor of Biotechnology, Gino Alva Diaz. Isabella Odette Bartolo. An Kwa Bui. Anoti Daisha Yolanda Chanakira. Isabella Coughlin. Emma Virginia Fallon. Chloe Feng. Jasmine Gruel. Sophia Rose Layden. Raimi Lynch. Gregor Lachlan McMurray. Taylor Isabella Moo. Kathy Fung. Benjamin James Spencer. Monique Kurniadi Tejo. Benjamin Thomas Wade. Kira Louise Walsham. Jordan Matthew Yaya. Bachelor of Environmental Biology, Wadia Arfan Chaudhary. Caitlin Rachel Jeffries. Remy Pierre Mileto. Jack Watson. Bachelor of Forensic Science, Renee Elizabeth Moore. Bachelor of Marine Biology, Abby Lee Aquilina. Emily Michelle Bastow. Holly Ann Cheaper. Courtney Louise Eade. Thomas Michael Mifsud. Chelsea Amber Ann Rowe. Lauren Turner. Bachelor of Science in Biomedical Science, Sasha Alet Pana Aniban Abad. Eleni Cass. Amani Hawa. Madeline James. Don Arun Prasad S. Kolura. Vinit Vinay Kumar. Jonah Oliver. Teresa Elizabeth Pace. Isabella Sankia Porter. Zara Akram Saeed Siddiqui. Jericho John Tablizo. Robin van de Sanden. Brian Young. Julia Zajkowski Ryan. Nicholas Zamora. Bachelor of Science in Biotechnology, Tahera Akteri. Paiwand Amir. Lachlan Grieg. Amy Johnson. Quinton Liu Tai. Bradley Melendrez. Lawrence Ng. Ethan O'Connor. Umaya Rahman. Manav Vikram Sharma. Karen Chan. Bachelor of Science in Environmental Sciences, Dylan Barclay. Jazz Elizabeth Carroll. Catherine Chavez Bascunan. Jennifer Molly Lynn Gainsford. William Green. Jack Jordan Griffith Saunders. Jessica Elise Hewen. Margaret Nee La. Marianne Manusha Maheshan. Tavishi Paris. Riley Brookman Potter. Samuel Rako. Melissa Sarah Sukaria. Louise Wise. Yue Min Shao. Master of Medical Biotechnology, Leila Hurizi. Bachelor of Biomedical Science, Vandana Vandana.
Chancellor, this concludes the presentation of graduates from the Faculty of Science.
So, on behalf of all at UTS, I'd like again to say a huge congratulations to our new graduates, and just as importantly to your family and friends who've given their support, love, and no doubt a great deal of understanding during your studies. Finishing a degree or a diploma is a major milestone, and we don't underestimate the hard work and sacrifices that you've made in reaching this goal. You should be very proud of what you've achieved, because your university is certainly very proud of you. Your graduation is one of the most important moments in your life, and it brings with it both opportunities and challenges. The opportunities have never been greater. As we know, UTS graduates are held in very high esteem by employers, not only because of the quality of the education that you've received here, but also because of its very practical nature. Conversely, the challenges in the workplace have never been greater. Scrutiny and the expectations of society are already high and continue to grow. I would urge you all to maintain the highest level of professional and personal integrity. Confront with courage the inevitable ethical dilemmas as they arise, and remember the caution that the behaviour you walk past is the behaviour you condone. But beyond the opportunities and challenges, a graduation signals that you have gained new knowledge. Use it wisely and responsibly. Ensure that your impact is a positive one and that you are seen to contribute, not just to take. And I say this particularly because you are graduates of a University of Technology, and very particularly of the Faculty of Science. Now, science and technology can certainly be applied as a force for good. But please be alert to the unintended consequences, and even more important, the applications of both science and the technology which flows from it, which are intentionally not benign. And we've seen many of the conversations and debates happening at the moment around AI, for example. So there are incredibly important debates in which you should seek to participate to make sure that the outcome is actually benign and a force for good. There will, of course, be times when knowledge alone is not enough, and you will be required to make judgments where the answer is not clear. Now, judgment is informed by experience, and particularly the experience of making mistakes. That's where the greatest learning occurs. So please don't see them as a negative, see them as an opportunity to learn. Because that opportunity to learn through things that didn't go as well as we hoped actually builds the reserves of judgment on which you will later be able to draw. So my challenge here to all of you today is to make sure that you make enough space and time to build those reserves of judgment and deepen your skills. Turn off the laptop, turn off the iPhone, and just think. Think about the questions you need to ask, think about the answers you receive, and think about the judgments you're being called on to make. Now, finally, we hope that your relationship with UTS doesn't end here today. Your career will obviously take you in many different directions to many different places. But one thing you will be needing to do and want to do is to be continuously learning. And here we hope that UTS, in our various programs which seek to support you over the life of your career and beyond, in that lifetime of learning, we would certainly hope that you would come to us and seek that support. So we now welcome you into that global group of UTS alumni. Stay involved and stay in touch, and remember that our alumni office is your ongoing connection to UTS. So make sure they know where you are so that we can keep in touch with you. May I congratulate you all again and wish you every success in applying the skills and knowledge that you've gained from our world-class institution. Well done. Now, it now gives me great pleasure to invite Ms. Kim McKay, AO, Doctor of Science, honoris causa, to deliver today's occasional address. Kim.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, the Dean of the Faculty of Science, University Secretary and Director, the UTS Council representative, the staff of the university, distinguished guests, and especially the graduates and the friends and family who've supported them. Good morning, everyone. I too would like to start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land that we've gathered on, the Gadigal people, and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Many of those emerging young leaders are here at UTS, as they are at my museum at the Australian Museum. So, congratulations on your graduation for choosing a career path in science. As you embark on your professional journey, it's important to recognise the rapidly changing environment and the impact of new technologies, as the Chancellor mentioned, happening around you. With the rise of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and other digital technologies, we're witnessing a revolution that is changing the very nature of science and innovation. Now, as scientists, you'll be at the forefront of these changes, shaping the future of science and technology. Hang on a minute. I've got the wrong speech. I'm so sorry. The one I was just reading to you was created in about 30 seconds by ChatGPT-4. And while it sounds fine, it has none of the passion, experience, creativity, knowledge, or life lessons that I've had from my career since graduating in this hall at UTS. I hate to say it, some 42 years ago. ChatGPT is incredible technology, and it will only get better. But I'm asking you today not to rely on it, as the Chancellor mentioned, because you have greater insights and creativity inside you than artificial intelligence does. Use it to your advantage, acknowledge you're using it, and importantly, be adaptable to the change it represents. So let's think about change as you embark on the next stage of your lives. It is truly an honour for me to receive this great honorary doctorate of science from UTS and to give the occasional address in my role as the Director and CEO of the Australian Museum, an institution steeped in education, the arts and science. So when I joined the Australian Museum 9 years ago, under Catherine Livingstone's presidency, I might add, it was a shock to many that a woman had been appointed to lead Australia's first museum for the first time in almost 200 years. But to others, it was much more of a shock that a non-scientist had been appointed to the role. And yes, I'm the worst kind of non-scientist, I'm a social scientist. But now, with the conferring of this honorary doctorate of science, I'll be able to hold my head high and hope the bonnet doesn't ever slip. Thank you to UTS for this incredible acknowledgement and for being part of the UTS family. It's gratefully received. Now, among other things, I'm a science communicator, having honed my skills initially here studying the Bachelor of Arts in Communications, and then in media in Australia and the United States at places like the Discovery Channel and later at National Geographic in Washington, DC. And I'm someone who's actively created citizen science and volunteer community participation initiatives, as you heard earlier this morning. Now, during my long career, I had never once thought about being a museum director. But I've always been flexible and open to new opportunities as they've presented themselves. I've embraced and adapted to change. So I'd like to share with you a few of the lessons I've learned along the way. There are 5 things which maybe you can remember and take with you today. And I'm going to draw on an experience I had in my 20s and early 30s to explain these things. Now, the first of those lessons is teamwork and collaboration, and how you just can't achieve anything successfully alone. This is now the age of collaboration. Early in my career, I worked on the solo around the world yacht races in the 1980s and 1990s. All of those solo yachtsmen and women had teams around them. And while there had been more people in space at that time that had sailed solo around the world, they'll all tell you that they could not have done it on their own. One of the competitors in the 86-87 solo around the world yacht race was former Australian of the Year, the late Ian Kiernan, with whom I co-founded Clean Up Australia a few years later. Ian was worried about the state of Sydney Harbour and told me he'd seen a beach cleanup in Hawaii years before and wondered if it could work here. If we could get a few hundred people out together, maybe it would make a difference. I said yes, swung around on my chair in my office and typed the first letter on the cleanup file to the then Minister for Ports in New South Wales, suggesting we organise a community cleanup. By the way, I typed it on an IBM golf ball typewriter, not connected to a computer, but if you want to see one, they're in the museum. Now, about 6 weeks later, a letter came back from the government saying, thanks, but no thanks. My department looks after the cleaning of Sydney Harbour. Well, that was the second lesson. If you want to do something, never take no for an answer and don't ask permission. We pulled together a group of friends and organised the first cleanup of Sydney Harbour on the 8th of January 1989. I still say it was one of the best days of my life, which is pretty sad because it was about garbage. But 40,000 people turned out from all over Greater Sydney and removed 5,000 tonnes of rubbish from our beautiful harbour, the jewel in the crown of this city. Our band of volunteers working together had done something amazing. They had helped change the future course of Sydney Harbour. It had been used as a garbage dump since white settlement, and now it was on a new course. There was also an unexpected community health issue identified that day too. It was in the days of the AIDS epidemic, and we picked up 3,000 syringes around the harbour foreshores, which led to the creation of the needle exchange program for addicts in King's Cross. So from this first volunteer day, Clean Up Australia was born. And at the time, it helped put the issue of waste and the impact of that on the environment front and centre on the community and government agenda. And many of us have been trying to keep it there ever since. So always work in teams, never take no for an answer or ask permission if you want to change things. The third thing I've learned is if you want to succeed, you've got to take risks. And as the Chancellor mentioned, not be afraid of failing. Just like people around Australia wanted to do cleanup, we started to hear from people all around the globe. And the germ of an idea to create a project called Clean Up the World was born. A bit ambitious. We were soon invited to meet with the head of the United Nations Environment Programme in Nairobi, Kenya, to present the idea. Now, Dr. Mustafa Tolba was a legendary international environmentalist, a very imposing man, believe it or not, surrounded by guards toting machine guns. On meeting, I was a bit scared, you can imagine. On meeting, I realised Dr. Tolba had my Clean Up the World proposal in his hand, and he'd written all over it in red pen. After much discussion, he said he liked the idea and pledged US $100,000 in seed funding to get the project up and running. You could imagine we felt pretty chuffed and we'd taken a risk and it had paid off. But on arriving back in Sydney, UNEP put new conditions on us to find matching funding. That came via something called a fax machine. Undaunted, I rang Qantas and spent my own money on the air ticket because I was convinced I'd find the funding in the United States. And within a few days, I got on a plane and went to California. I'd heard about a foundation, the EGBAR Foundation, which stood for Everything's Gonna Be All Right. And after an hour or so of meeting with Mr. EGBAR, I had the other $100,000 in seed funding. We had the money to get Clean Up the World going and the endorsement of the United Nations Environment Programme, and all I'd risked, apart from the risk of failure, was an air ticket. Now today, Clean Up the World still operates in hundreds of communities around the globe and annually involves more than a few million volunteers, I'm pleased to say. We had created a project which was free, open source, open access, everyone was welcome, a virtual organisation before the internet was even invented. Some of you might remember those days, the parents in the audience, the days before the internet, or BTI as I call them. Now, the fourth lesson I want to share with you is that it's up to you all to change things. You have the power. There's no use sitting around and waiting for someone else to do it. Problems can only be solved, governments voted in or out as we've recently seen, or voices heard with the Constitution changed. Plastic reduced and waterways restored, new science discoveries made, the public educated, or even museums transformed, if you decide to take action. And each of you graduating today is now in a leadership position to change things. Today, through our work at the Australian Museum, and there are 350 brilliant staff members there and 100 scientists working day in, day out on new discoveries, we are not giving up. And we're continuing to try and change things in our own way, especially in terms of integrating First Nations knowledge systems with Western science. We have so much to learn from our First Nations peoples. We've also recently launched our Climate Solutions Centre, which focuses on technology designed to solve climate change impacts. Or you might have heard of our citizen science project, Frog ID. So far, volunteers just like you have uploaded 900,000 frog calls from around Australia. And that app, via our wonderful app, so go look up Frog ID after this, and that app is helping us monitor the impact of biodiversity loss and climate change on frogs, the group of animals that are the most endangered. Now, I think a lot of environmental management in the future is going to be up to you. You're all at the coalface of environmental action, whether as scientists, health professionals, or educators. And every success is about timing. And now is your time. To recap the 4 things I've told you about today: always work in teams and collaborate. If you really want to do something, don't take no for an answer or ask permission. You have to take risks to succeed, and don't be afraid of failure. And fourthly, know that you have the power to change things. The 5th is probably the most important of all that I will leave you with today. No matter what profession you're in, communicate, communicate, and communicate even more. Every survey of chief executives reveals the one thing they say they need to prioritise and do better to succeed is to communicate more effectively. While it is the age of collaboration, it is also the age of communication. And I know this is how we will change things in our communities, and it's certainly how we'll change things for the natural environment. It's change we need for the common good right now. It's up to all of you to go out there and be that difference that we all need. I'm counting on you. I wish you good luck and good fortune for all that's ahead of you. You've had a great start graduating from UTS today. It really set me on my path, and I'm so proud of you all and this extraordinary university. And now UTS is unleashing you on your future path. Just watch how you use that ChatGPT. Congratulations to each and every one of you, and just go for it. Thank you.
Graduations are indeed among the most important occasions at a university, and we're very fortunate at UTS to have some of the most distinguished members of our community speak to us. Kim McKay works at the intersection between science and education and the arts. You will have heard from the citation that I read earlier that she is a distinguished and awarded leader, and I expect you would have heard from the speech that she's a passionate transformer for good. While it's certainly true that technology will empower us, we shouldn't let technology drive us. We should embrace those human elements of creativity and innovation, which are even more important. As Mackay reflected on, the important ingredients of success: teamwork, never taking no for an answer, taking risks. It's up to us to change things and to communicate, communicate, communicate. If it was the ChatGPT version of the speech or the Kim Mackay version of the speech that I had to choose from, for inspiration, I would choose the Kim Mackay version of the speech every single time. Would you join me again in thanking Kim Mackay for the occasional address?
Chancellor, guests, graduates, that occasional address concludes the formal proceedings of this ceremony. On behalf of the Chancellor, I invite you to join the official party for refreshments. These will be served in the Great Hall foyer and in the balcony room adjoining this hall. The photography and framing and memorabilia services are located on level 4, which is one floor below us. The academic procession is about to leave the Great Hall. As it does, I invite our new graduates to join the procession, which will end in the balcony room. Would the congregation please rise for the academic procession?